June began with high-level diplomatic engagement focused on the future of global energy security, diversification, renewable energy, digitalization, and regional connectivity dominated discussions as Baku Energy Week opened on June 1st. This year's edition brought together more than 270 companies from 46 countries, including several first-time participants and national pavilions, underscoring growing international confidence in Azerbaijan's energy sector and its long-term strategic potential. Addressing the gathering, President Ilham Aliyev highlighted Azerbaijan's journey from a newly independent nation to a key player in global energy markets. He stressed that countries should not be criticized for utilizing their natural resources, saying oil and gas, like any other commodity, should be used to support national development.
And if we look at Azerbaijan today and to see this transformation, how we used this wealth, how we reinvested in social infrastructure, in education, in healthcare, in energy development, we will see that this is how the countries should develop, and this is a way for many other countries which today suffer more or less the same problems which we suffered back in beginning of 90s. Today, Azerbaijan's economic performance is very positive.
President Aliyev also emphasized Azerbaijan's growing role in strengthening Europe's energy security, noting that the country continues to expand its natural gas exports through the Southern Gas Corridor.
Last year, here at the Baku Energy Week, I reported the audience that we have 12 countries recipients of Azerbaijani gas. Today, their number is 16, and 10 of them are members of the European Union. And the number will grow, definitely. By supplying pipeline gas to different countries and the area, the geography, if we look at that parameter, we are number one in the world, and we will increase our gas supply.
The president also outlined Azerbaijan's ambitious renewable energy targets. He said the country expects to have 2 gigawatts of solar and wind power capacity by the end of next year, increasing to 8 gigawatts by 2032. Combined with expanding hydropower projects in the liberated regions of Karabakh and East Zangezur, the additional capacity will help free up more natural gas for export while supporting the country's clean energy transition. Turning to regional connectivity, President Aliyev said the East-West corridor is already operating successfully. He added that construction of the Zangezur corridor, which will serve as another branch of the East-West transport route, will move forward based on the document signed at the White House on August 8th.
His Excellency Ilham Aliyev.
The event also highlighted Azerbaijan's growing international profile, with messages from US President Donald Trump, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and other world leaders delivered during the opening ceremony. The messages underscored international support for Azerbaijan's role in global energy security and regional cooperation. Azerbaijan-United States relations saw renewed momentum this month, with a series of high-level meetings and expanding cooperation across key sectors. On June 1st, President Ilham Aliyev received a U.S. delegation led by Assistant Secretary of State Caleb Orr. President Aliyev welcomed President Donald Trump's message to Baku Energy Week, calling it a sign of strengthening ties between Baku and Washington. He highlighted the Azerbaijan-US Strategic Partnership Charter and the launch of the first economic dialogue as important milestones in bilateral relations. Caleb Orr conveyed greetings from President Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, noting Washington's strong interest in energy cooperation and praising Azerbaijan's role in global energy discussions. Momentum continued with President Aliyev's meeting with U.S. Congressman Abraham Hamadeh in Baku. Talks focused on strengthening political and economic ties, expanding cooperation in Congress, and efforts related to repealing Section 907. The congressman praised Azerbaijan's strategic role and its hosting of major international events. Relations with regional partners also have been at the focus during the month. President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev received a delegation led by Mohammad Baghir Ghalibaf, Speaker of Iran's parliament, in Baku on June 24. President Aliyev expressed condolences over recent losses in Iran and reaffirmed Azerbaijan's solidarity, stressing the importance of peace and stability in the region. Speaker Ghalibaf thanked Azerbaijan for its support during Iran's difficult period and conveyed greetings from Iran's leadership. Both sides emphasized friendly relations and discussed expanding cooperation, including regional transport projects such as the Agban-Kelale Bridge and the Aras Corridor, as well as interparliamentary ties and bilateral cooperation mechanisms. The month's diplomatic activity continued in Baku on June 18, as the city hosted the opening ceremony of the 2026 annual meetings of the Islamic Development Bank Group. President Ilham Aliyev thanked the Islamic Development Bank Group for choosing Azerbaijan as the host country, saying it reflects growing international confidence.
Stability, political, economic, social stability, which today is a reality of Azerbaijan, is not only the main factor for our development, but also it is a factor of regional development. Because with the strong ties in the regional scale and also on global arena, Azerbaijan already became an important actor in many aspects. Our independent foreign policy gained strong support in the international community. The number of our friends is growing year after year. And the support from international community is reflected in a very illustrative moments when our candidacy was among the list of candidates for different institutions, and we got overwhelming support. That was the case when we were candidate for United Nations Security Council some years ago and got the support of 155 countries.
The president said the term international community is often misunderstood, noting that it refers to all member states of the United Nations, not a limited group of developed countries. He added that Azerbaijan's diplomacy is based on practical cooperation and broad global engagement. President Aliyev also addressed the decades-long Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict, criticizing what he described as international double standards and ineffective negotiations during the occupation period.
It lasted for almost 30 years. And during these 30 years, there were numerous rounds of useless, endless, meaningless negotiations, which had only one aim for those who were providing so-called umbrella for negotiations, only one aim: to keep our lands under Armenian occupation forever. That was the goal of those who had a mandate to achieve peace and achieve liberation of our territories. I mean the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairs, 3 countries, 3 permanent members of UN Security Council, France, Russia, United States. And can you imagine that these countries could not force Armenia to liberate Azerbaijani territory? No, of course not. They did not want. They wanted our land to be under Armenian occupation. That was their joint decision. But we changed those plans.
The president said Azerbaijan has now entered a period of peace and reconstruction following the restoration of its territorial integrity.
We, the winner, the country and the people who suffered from occupation and devastation, we offered them peace. And now we have this peace. So already for almost 1 year, we live in peace and we see the benefits. We will never forget what Armenian occupational forces have done to our people, to our cities. We will never forget how they destroyed 65 mosques and kept animals, including pigs, in our mosques in order to insult our feelings. That cannot be forgotten. We will never forget Khojaly genocide, but we need to look to the future. And we took revenge on the battlefield. And that's enough. That war or wars should have stopped, and we stopped it. As a strong side, we stopped it and offered peace. So now, peace is reality.
He added that immediately after the liberation of its territories, Azerbaijan launched a large-scale reconstruction program. Around 90,000 people now live, work, and study in Garabah and East Zangezur. The president said more than $15 billion has been allocated from the state budget, with total investment reaching about $17 billion. Azerbaijan and Turkmenistan have strengthened their partnership following a high-level state visit by Turkmen President Serdar Berdimuhamedov to Baku on June 22. A key highlight of the visit was the online presentation of the Dostlug oil tanker, gifted by Azerbaijan to Turkmenistan and built at the Baku shipyard. The vessel reflects growing industrial cooperation and Azerbaijan's shipbuilding capacity. The visit also saw the signing and exchange of multiple agreements covering energy, transport, customs, healthcare, labor, agriculture, food security, sports, and industrial cooperation. These included a joint statement by the two presidents and several memorandums outlining future collaboration for 2026 and beyond. Presidents Ilham Aliyev and Serdar Berdimuhamedov delivered press statements following talks on June 22. President Aliyev said the relationship is grounded in historical ties and shared cultural values, and thanked Turkmenistan for supporting Azerbaijan's full membership in the consultative meeting of Central Asian heads of state. He also underscored expanded cooperation in energy and transport, and reaffirmed support for Turkmenistan's neutrality policy.
Although we are not geographically part of Central Asia, our cultural and historical ties, as well as the practical issues we are addressing today regarding regional connectivity and transport logistics cooperation, naturally create the prerequisites for considering the broader Central Asian region as a single geopolitical and geoeconomic space.
President Berdimuhamedov said relations are developing dynamically based on equality and mutual benefit, with agreements to expand cooperation in energy, transport, and industry, and to advance east-west transit corridors. He also highlighted cultural ties and annual cultural exchanges, describing the talks and signed documents as a strong step toward long-term partnership between the two countries. On June 23, the presidents of Ilham Aliyev and Serdar Berdimuhamedov visited several liberated territories, highlighting large-scale reconstruction efforts in the region. In Fuzuli, they toured sites of destruction from the years of occupation and were briefed on ongoing rebuilding under a modern master plan that envisions a smart city for up to 50,000 residents. The leaders also reviewed plans for infrastructure development and inspected a Turkmenistan-funded mosque project symbolizing bilateral cooperation. In Shusha, the presidents visited newly built residential complexes for returning residents and inspected progress on a new mosque designed as a modern landmark, along with cultural sites including the Haydar Aliyev and Karabakh exhibition and restored historical artifacts damaged during the conflict. The visit underscored a focus on urban renewal, cultural heritage restoration, and strengthening Azerbaijan-Turkmenistan ties through shared development projects. Azerbaijan-Turkey relations remained in focus this month as the two countries marked another anniversary of the Shusha Declaration on Allied Relations. Signed in 2021, the declaration elevated bilateral ties to the level of a strategic alliance, paving the way for closer cooperation in politics, security, and the economy. Reflecting that partnership, on 29 to 30 June, the Center of Analysis of International Relations, the AIR Center, together with the Center for Strategic Research under Turkey's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, held a seminar in Ankara titled Azerbaijan's Foreign Policy. Opening the event, AIR Center Chairman Farid Shafiev and the head of the Turkish Research Center, Ramazan Erda, reaffirmed that the Azerbaijan-Turkey strategic alliance remains a key pillar of regional stability, security, and cooperation. The seminar brought together experts to discuss Azerbaijan's foreign policy priorities, the future of bilateral cooperation, and opportunities to expand academic dialogue and institutional partnerships between the two countries. The month also saw renewed engagement between Azerbaijan and NATO. NATO Secretary-General's Special Representative for the Caucasus and Central Asia, Kevin Hamilton, paid his first official visit to Azerbaijan since assuming the role. During the visit, Ambassador Hamilton met with Hikmet Hajiv, assistant to the President of Azerbaijan, as well as Deputy Foreign Ministers Araz Azimov and Elna Mammadov. The discussions focused on regional security, the future of NATO-Azerbaijan cooperation, and preparations for the upcoming NATO summit in Ankara. Ambassador Hamilton described Azerbaijan as a reliable NATO partner and welcomed continued progress in the Armenia-Azerbaijan peace process as an important contribution to regional stability. He also met with experts at the Air Center to exchange views on regional developments and security challenges, highlighting Azerbaijan's long-standing contributions to NATO-led missions. Beyond diplomacy, Azerbaijan's growing role as a middle power remained a key theme throughout June, with the Air Center promoting the discussion both at home and abroad. In Baku, the center hosted a high-level conference bringing together government officials, diplomats, academics, and international experts to examine Azerbaijan's expanding regional influence and global engagement. Participants highlighted the country's balanced foreign policy, its leadership in the Armenia-Azerbaijan peace process, its strategic role in the Middle Corridor, energy diplomacy, and the successful hosting of COP29 as key factors behind Azerbaijan's growing international profile. The conversation continued at the 2026 SCO Think Tank Forum, held on June 7 to 8 under the framework of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Air Center Chairman Farid Shafiev highlighted Azerbaijan's growing role as a middle power and said its balanced foreign policy has strengthened the country's position as a reliable regional partner. Air Center experts also discussed the country's partnerships with Central Asia and China, as well as the role of infrastructure and people-to-people ties in strengthening regional connectivity. The discussion continued in the Republic of Korea, where Shafiev addressed the Culture and Strategies Forum in Seoul, highlighting Azerbaijan's contribution to regional connectivity, peace-building, and international cooperation. The delegation also met with leading Korean universities and think tanks to discuss opportunities for joint research, academic exchanges, and policy dialogue.